If you've ever watched The Conjuring at night, you know the exact feeling I'm talking about. You're sitting there, you look at the screen based on a true story. You see that pop on the screen. When I was like 7 and I seen that shit, bro, when I tell you I thought Bathsheba was finna come through and give me fucking back shots, bro. But as I get older, I started to realize like how true really is that story. That's what today's video is about. I just want to make a video. The Conjuring's always been my favorite series, and I kind of just want to make a video like telling the true stories and like what really happened compared to the movie, and go over some of like Ed and Lorraine shit. So let's just start the video.
Yes.
Okay, so what I would say about the first Conjuring is it doesn't like ease you into the story. Like it just throws you into the movie of bullshit. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's probably like one of the most believable ones. Like this could happen, but I remember one of the first opening scenes was that they move into the house. The dog doesn't want to go in the house. Later out, the nigga just dies. Like nobody even knows how he died. He just appeared. He was just fucking dead, bro. But okay, just to go over it in more chronological order. So to start off the movie, the Perron family. This is the Perron family in the movie, and this is the Perron family in real life. So basically, in the movie, they move into the new house. Almost immediately stuff starts happening. Like as I mentioned before, the dog doesn't even want to go in the house. Then the dog just dies. The clock stopped working. Caroline starts getting covered with bruises from who God knows what. And then there was this one specific scene that I remember when I was a little kid that scared the hell out of me. When they were playing the like clapping game, I think it was the wife or the mother falls down into the basement and hears like a clap from the fucking basement. Like, bro, if that was me, like I don't even know what I would do. Like that just scared the fuck out of me. And the fact that it said based on a true story, like it made it 10 times like scarier for me. But that's not even where like the movie stops. Like it just gets worse and worse and worse. There was this one specific scene in the movie that I still see to this day in the back of my head sometimes when I'm just scared laying alone at night. She jumps off the dresser onto the daughter, I believe. It was either the daughter or the wife. She literally just vomits like into the daughter. Like it was the most disgusting shit I ever seen. And like that haunted me because I literally thought that like demons would come after me and just vomit in my face. Like to wrap up the movie, basically what happened in the end was that, you know, they started the exorcism. Ed came out of nowhere, saved the day. He wasn't even really like supposed to perform the exorcism because he wasn't like ordained or anything like that, but I guess he just had to. It was just a common like exorcism, like screaming, yelling. The demon was talking shit. Ed is just reading off the Bible words. Like they did a pretty good job making it scary. It felt like official. I think that's what scared me the most, was that because it was based off of a true story, it felt like very like real, like it happened in real life. And again, like I don't want to keep bringing up this point, but the fact that it said based on a true story made everything like 10 times scarier. But when you look at what's actually recorded about the Perron family in real life and what they act like, what actually happened, Andrea Perron, the eldest daughter, has spoken publicly about the experiences. So if you want to check out like more of what she said, because I'm not gonna go too in detail, what I couldn't find was any like documented evidence of like an actual exorcism taking place in the home. Like there's no church record of one. There's also no evidence of Bathsheba Sherman, the witch, the baby killing like Satanist girl, actually ever murdering a child or like practicing a ritual sacrifice. Like she was a real person, but there was nothing like proven about her actually like doing anything that they said she did in the movie. Historical records show she actually was a real person and she did live in the 1800s, not too far away from the house, but she was never convicted of like any witchcraft crimes or killing her child or whatever. So either the movie just made like an innocent like real person a baby killing Satanist, or Lorraine just somehow knew she did that shit. Then there's The Conjuring 2. The family dealing with the hauntings were known as the Hodgson family. I would say, me personally, if it wasn't for the next one, I think this one would take the cake for like amplifying unnecessary ass things. Like I don't think like 80% of the that happened in this movie actually happened in real life, but again, they have to make an entertaining movie, so I understand why they did that. Okay, just getting into it, the young girl by the name of Janet Hodgson levitates from her bed. A demonic nun stalks Lorraine across dimensions. Yes, dimensions. I don't know if that's possible in real life. I guess I'll just have to kill myself and find out. The Crooked Man, like I don't even know where this shit came from. Like the Crooked Man just appeared out of nowhere and just started gritting on all the children and shit. Like I don't know where they got this from. This shit never happened in real life. I guess they were just trying to make this shit entertaining, but Every cross in the house starts flipping upside down. One of the end scenes is basically Lorraine trying to save Ed from the demonic nun that's been stalking them across fucking dimensions, and Ed almost gets impaled on a tree, which he doesn't. In reality, the Enfield case was investigated mainly by two people, Maurice Gross and Guy Leon Playfair, between 1977 and 1979. Now, the Warrens did visit, but they kind of visited just briefly, and just basically they were just not a part of the like central investigation. Like, they kind of just popped up, said yo with some of the ghosts, and just dipped out. Like, they really like weren't involved in this case that much. Now, people might be saying, oh Devin, what about the pictures of the little girl floating and shit? Me personally, I kind of think that just looks like her jumping, but if you want to get more facts and research by actual people, then there are photographs taken by a photographer named Graham Morris that appear to show Janet mid-air levitating above her bed. Now, there were audio recordings of a deep voice calling itself Bill Wilkins. Supporters argue that the voice included personal details about Mr. Wilkins, and a real deceased person, by the way. It's not like a made-up person by the family or anything. It's a real man, and it was verified by his son that what they were saying were true. I don't really know how a little girl would know that, like, of a man that she never met, so that could prove the validity to you, or that could mean something different. It's really just up to you, I guess. Now, a man by the name of Joe Nickel argued that the levitation photo simply just showed Janet jumping on the bed. In the images, her knees are bent and her body's like angled forward, like that. Which is also consistent with someone just jumping upwards, not like floating weightlessly like they're trying to say. He also noted that most of the disturbances and like paranormal activities that happened while they were investigating only happened when the adults left the room. Now, Janet later admitted that her and her sister faked some of the events to see if the investigators would like notice they were faked, I guess. But she did maintain that not everything was faked and only some of it was fake. Again, there's not really like a lot you can go off of in a paranormal case to like really prove that something happened and something didn't happen. The third conjuring, aka The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, it opens with a violent exorcism of a young boy named David Glatzel. During the exorcism, a man named Arnie Cheyenne Johnson challenges the demon to enter him instead of the young man. Fast forward a little bit later in the movie, Arnie just murks his landlord. The movie presents the murdering of his landlord as a demonic possession, like nothing else. Not that maybe he didn't fuck with his landlord, because nobody fucked with their landlord. Now, this right here is where the movie like completely loses me. Like, I don't know where they tried to take this shit, but it just didn't work out for me. So a woman named Isla Kastner is revealed to be performing like satanic rituals, placing cursed totems under Nick's houses and shit, and like orchestrating people's deaths as like a big like occult conspiracy shit, hidden tunnels, ritual altars, and she basically just like kills herself at the end after like the altar like collapses or some shit. And for me, it kind of just turns like the simple case of a guy getting possessed and murdering his landlord into like a brain fuck of like rituals and just like scary horror movie trope shit. But in reality, Johnson's defense team did argue to attempt But in reality, Johnson's defense team did try to argue demonic possession in court. The judge did reject that defense, and Johnson got convicted for manslaughter. Now, about Isla Kastner, there's no documented court evidence of satanic totems, underground ritual conspiracies, or anything around that nature. The occult storyline, I think that was just like created for like the film to just be a little bit longer. Also, Isla Kastner was not a real fucking person. It was just for the movie. Now, in the fourth film, the one that just most recently came out, The Conjuring Last Rites, it focuses on the Smurl family in Pennsylvania. The Smurl family moved into a duplex in the movie. It starts with small disturbances like knocking on the walls, doors moving, objects flying across the fucking room, their baby monitor picking up voices, shadow figures, physical violence, and much more. Then this is in the movie where Ed and Lorraine Warren arrive. Then of course, you know, Lorraine starts having her visions, furniture starts crashing, all type of shit. Then interestingly about the movie, the part that I didn't really like the most is kind of how they like played everything out, I guess. Like in the movie, the house just starts fucking attacking them. Like they spent like 15 minutes of the movie fighting a fucking mirror that was like spinning in circles and shit, and like literally Bruce Lee chopping the shit out of them with no hands. I don't know how that fucking works. Like, I don't know, that's where the movie kind of threw me off, because like, why the fuck are you fighting a mirror for 30 minutes? This shit don't even got no fucking hands. Like, how are you losing? Like, they almost lost, bro. But anyways, besides the point, now in the real story, Jack and Janet Smurl claim that their house was like plagued with foul odors and they're getting attacked and shadowy figures, and even claim that they got sexually assaulted by the ghost, both of them, I believe. So in real life, when the Warrens investigated, they concluded that multiple spirits, including a violent demonic presence, was haunting the house. Again, that's just what they concluded. The Smurls did go public with the story pretty soon, I would say. A book was published, media attention started. Well, unfortunately, I think a ghost just came into my house and just started fucking with me. So the Smurl family did go public with the hauntings pretty early. They even published a book about it, and they started getting a lot of media attention very quickly. A skeptic by the name of Paul Kurtz publicly dismissed the case as a hoax and compared it to the Amityville case, arguing that there was no verified physical evidence of any supernatural activity at all. Some critics pointed out that Jack Smurl had undergone brain surgery only a couple years prior, and that could be the cause for the claims. A lot of people did notice that a majority of the more extreme claims started coming out after they went public about the hauntings. I feel like it would be a pretty good idea to just go over Ed and Lorraine Warren as human beings. Everyone really talks about their cases and the things that happen in their cases and the things they've done for the paranormal community, but no one really talks about who they are morally and just as human beings at all. So Ed Warren is a self-proclaimed demonologist. However, he had no formal recognition in the Catholic Church. He had no accredited scientific background and no licensed psychological training. And Lorraine described herself as clairvoyant, or a psychic or medium, if you will. Skeptics or even regular people criticize the Warrens for mostly relying on personal stories instead of like actually doing like scientific or paranormal testing. Like, if I went up to the Warrens and was just like, yeah, the demon just smacked the shit out of me, they would probably just believe me. Like, they wouldn't really do no research. They might come to my house, investigate for a little bit, and be like, oh hell yeah, that place was haunted, I know the demon smacked the shit out of him, without really doing like any paranormal testing at all. But there are more serious allegations, not just people who believe and people who don't and trying to prove it wrong. There are actually serious allegations against Ed. Now, I can't say if they're true or false. I don't know. I wasn't there. Nothing ever got done as Ed died in 2006. But back to the topic. In 2017, a woman named Judith Penny publicly claimed she had been in a sexual relationship with Ed Warren since she was 15 years old. Not only then, but it also continued into her adulthood. She also alleged that Lorraine Warren knew what was going on, and she lived in a house owned by the Warrens for decades. Then again, there's no criminal conviction connected to any of these allegations. Ed Warren died in 2006, and the Warren family has like denied any wrongdoing at all. And me personally, I'm not gonna say too much on it because I don't know if they are true or false, but I feel like a lot of people don't know about this. Now, I've done some research on this. I couldn't find anything too concrete, so take this with a grain of salt, but I have seen some things about Lorraine Warren basically telling the Conjuring staff to not talk about their personal life at all in the movies, just about their main relationship and their paranormal investigations and hauntings, just nothing else about their personal life. So you take that however you want. And I think that makes sense. The movies kind of portray Ed and Lorraine as an elderly couple battling evil and saving the youth and protecting families, and of course, if this was well known or talked about, then it'll kind of ruin their whole image, so I understand why. But then again, everything I just said was alleged and nothing was ever legally done or proven to be the truth at all. So take that section with a grain of salt. And again, allegedly. So that basically wraps up this video. Those are the Conjuring movies. They are based on real people and real cases, but the films heavily dramatize and expand those events to create clear villains, heroes, and I would say bigger cinematic stakes, so the movie's not boring to watch. That doesn't make the movies bad by any means. That kind of just means that the based on the true story shtick that they have just kind of doesn't mean what everyone thinks it does. Now, the Conjuring series personally for me is my favorite series ever, and even if it sounded like I was shitting on it in this video, I really love these movies. And speaking of the Conjuring movies, the entire trilogy I love, the Annabelle, the Nun, and I can make a video on those and those stories, or you know, whatever the case may be, just go over the movie if you guys would like me to do that. And before this video ends, I just want to say feel free to correct me on anything I might have misinterpreted or misheard or misresearched, you know, anything along those lines. And as always, I'll say stay blessed, bitch ass.